Hi. All right, we're starting a new month. An important month. Important month for all of us. For we have the power within us. It is our annual theme. We've been just continuing to create an arc that just keeps going up and up and up. And we are igniting the power within. And this month is a very important month for all of us, both individually in our own lives, for the lives of every single person around us, for the sake of this community, and for the sake of the world. And we have the power within to create the realities that truly sets our life on fire. We can just set it totally ablaze. And this month we're specifically talking about prosperity. Jen Sincero tells us you have one glorious and brief shot at being the you that is you on planet Earth, and the power to create whatever reality you desire. Why not be the biggest, happiest, most generous, and fully realized humanoid you can be? I love that. One exception I'd make for me is not physically the biggest. Other than that, why not on this short time that we have? She also says it's about giving yourself the options and the permission to be and have whatever lights you up, instead of acting like a victim of your circumstance. Now, I know we don't do that here, right? No, we don't play the victim card, do we? Yeah, we've read about it. We've watched the movie. We got the t-shirt. And what lights me up may not light you up. Isn't that great? But what lights you up, why not have it and be lit all the time? I know. I just am like, this month is going to be very interesting, I can tell, as Joe said. I tell you. She also says it's about creating the wealth that affords you the life you love to live instead of settling for what you think you can get. So the life that we want to live, I'm going to guess, is higher than what we think we're okay settling for. Is it? Just a little bit? And so we're going to blow the roof off of it. And we need more people, more examples of people truly living a prosperous life, whatever that is for each of you. To live a prosperous life, to live full out, to live happy, to thrive in every single area of your life. So this really, when we're talking prosperity, we're not just talking about money. Whatever makes your life prosperous so that you can be yet another shining example of full out awesome. Awesome. Who's in for awesome? Because awesome is this awe. Think of God. Awesome is like to be in awe, to have some awe of life itself. And I'm sure each of us have had at least one, if not many, experiences of that awness of life. Just like, oh my gosh. And imagine that we stand and go, and this is me, this is my life. I have some awe for my life. I'm awesome. We need more examples of that. So yes, we have chosen a book. I remember when I saw this book in Seattle, it was 2 summers ago on vacation. I had not heard of the author, but boy, did this title capture my attention. You're a badass. You're a badass. at making money. Subtitle, Master the Mindset of Wealth by Jen Sincero. It's a great book. And she says, there is no such thing as too much awesome. There is no such, think of God, there is no such thing as too much awesome. So now we're going to think of our own life. There is no such thing as too much awesome about my life. So we're going to be a badass at living this life. We're going to be a badass, okay? So I'm going to tell you, if I say a word that offense, put something else in. It's not intended. So I'm just going to step into the power of how she speaks in this book, that there are a few words I am going to leave out. But you have to buy the book to see what words I'm leaving out. I was reading the other morning, and I was like, oh, our community is going to read this book. What have I done? Read the book. So, now, the other thing is, because I'm using a lot of the material today, so you'll get a taste of her, is anyone that is of less age, times around the sun, right? Because we're all youthful, right? You were here last Sunday, right? So we're all young at heart. But anyone that's in their 20s, in their 30s, even their 40s, give them a gift. Willie already bought one for your son, right? Son-in-law? Son? Huh? Grandson. Give them this gift of this book. And I'm not making a penny off of it. So, all right. So we're starting off right off the bat this month with a very, very loaded topic. Might as well just get it out of the way. It's money. It's a loaded topic. Of all the counseling that I do and all the conversations that I have, and primarily the prayer requests that I receive, it is in the top two. Money. It's loaded. So we can have things like, just feel which ones land with you. Love money. We can hate money. We can obsess over money. We can resent money. We can hoard money. We can crave money. We can ignore money. We can badmouth money. This thing called money. We can have some desire for money. We can have some shame around money. We can have a little weirdness around money. Anybody got weirdness around money? Sometimes we can't even talk about it. We can't utter the word, dare say how much we make. We tend to not talk about it loudly and proudly. This thing called money. Now let's talk about our relationships with it. Well, sometimes our relationships with this thing called money can be troubled. Sometimes it can be distance. Well, where'd you go? You're feeling a little distant from me right now, money? Sometimes that relationship can feel strained, confused. Sometimes that relationship can be fleeting. I was all in love, and where'd you go? Sometimes this relationship can feel conflicted. But as we know with anything that we teach here, the great news is, if there's any kind of wobbly, wiggly, uncertainty, shame, confusion, avoidance, anything about this relationship with this thing called money, we can heal it. And we can heal it right now. It doesn't matter what our relationship has ever been. Just like you could have had 14 bad relationships, and boom, there you are. Right? We can transform it, our relationship with it and how we hold it. And we can become what I like to think of awesome, because we're going for awesome. We can be awesome pals and intimate partners with it. Who wants to be intimate partners with money? I know you're all going to go home and throw it all over your bed. As we transform it, and as we heal it, and as we grow this relationship, and as we nurture it, And how, as we get more and more intimate with it, the great news is that we're going to find ourselves waking up and we're going to be standing right smack dab in the middle of a prosperous life that you always wanted to live. And I want you to mark that moment, if you're not there yet, and say, I am smack dab in the middle of a prosperous life, and acknowledge that. Because I know it's here for every single person, no exceptions. All right, so why are we going to focus on money first? Well, Jen has some things to say about it. She says, not a day goes by where we don't use money or use something that was paid for with money or have an experience that is somehow connected to money. Not one single day. Money's in the roads we drive on, the food we eat, the music we listen to, the freedom we enjoy, the adventures we have, the babies we birth, the showers we take, the poems we write, the noses we blow. Bless you. It's everywhere. Like dust or temptation or hormones in the high schoolers. And yet we rarely, if ever, stop to investigate how we feel about money, what our beliefs are about money, and how we speak about money. And so the good news is we're actually going to do this throughout this month. And we're going to start with our beliefs. We're going to talk about our beliefs about money. And I'm especially speaking to a specific place within you today, so you can relax a little bit. I am speaking especially today to your subconscious. I'm talking to it because we consciously know what we believe about money, and we unconsciously know what we believe about money. And it's the subconscious that is the motherboard. That motherboard runs the whole computer. Doesn't matter what software you put in it, how much you update it, whatever. And so I'm speaking to the motherboard today. It's that which drives the bus, Jen Sincero says. It takes you where you're going, whether you're paying attention or not. All right. So we're going to look at some of the most common beliefs that we tend to have about money, especially the ones that we often unconsciously accept as the truth. And so each of you, I'm inviting you in this moment to pay attention, she says, to which of these remind you of something you may have heard yourself thinking or saying, because awareness is the first key in breaking the spell of your not so awesome financial reality. Okay? And when you get the book, you will get these steps and understand what to do with each of these that is about to land on you. So the first thing is, as she says, to become aware of what your limiting thoughts are and beliefs are. 2, question and investigate them. 3, rewrite them. And 4, say it out loud and proud. Okay? Example. Money can't buy happiness. Who's heard that one before? Okay, so the question you would then ask yourself is, well, what makes me happy? Hanging out with people I love, grilled cheese sandwiches, being loved and loving others, laughing my ass off, giving great gifts, traveling, hiking, playing with my dog, taking road trips, listening to music, drinking beer, having my own business, leaving huge tips, freedom, getting massages. Question, does having money help me achieve any of these happy things? Answer, yes. Rewritten thought, money supports my happiness. So she just rewrote, money can't buy happiness, to money supports my happiness. Okay, unhelpful thought, I'd rather focus on having fun than making money. Is it fun when you make money? Yes, when I make it, it's fun, but what I have to do to make it isn't fun. Imagine this as you. Well, would it be worth your time during your one and only life to find or create an occupation that is fun.
Amen.
I only do an occupation now that is fun. So, if the answer is yes, good. Do you understand that anything you set your mind to is possible, even having a job that is lucrative and fun? Yes. Okay, so then the rewritten thought is, she added to it, I make making money fun. Okay? So, here we go. I'm going to share some commonly held beliefs. Just see how they land in your body. Then you know that if it's anything other than neutral and positive, might be where you want to start. Okay? You can't be rich and spiritual. Money isn't important. People are. Never go into debt. Save your money for a rainy day. Rich people are lucky, gross, selfish, entitled, snobby, shallow, egomaniacs, holier than thou. Just feel within you, I have to work hard to make money. I can't make money doing X, whatever you'd love to do. I'm too irresponsible, lazy, clueless to make money. It's not polite to talk about money. It's important to have a good, secure job. If you get excited by making money, it means you're shallow. Money doesn't grow on trees. You must go to a good college to make money. Money causes stress. There's never enough money. Money is trouble. I don't want to be a sellout. You have to sacrifice having a good, fun life to make money. Money is out of my reach. You have champagne taste on a beer pocketbook. Always have a backup plan. It's lonely at the top. Who has that kind of money? He or she is only about the money. So here's a new way to think. Just think of one of them that grabbed you. I love this. What if you thought of these things about the sky? The sky is the root of all evil. It's not polite to talk about the sky. Loving the sky makes me a bad person. I'm following her language on this. The sky, no, I'm not. The sky turns around otherwise decent people into awful things. Think about that. I love that. It's like, would we talk about the sky like this? But we do about this thing called money. So when you consciously or unconsciously, remember I'm speaking to your subconscious primarily today, resent money or cling to your limiting beliefs about money or refuse to participate in making money, it does not serve you. It does not make you more noble. It does not help you or anyone else. What it does is put you on a hunger strike by cutting you off from that which you need not only to survive, but to thrive. By embracing money and getting into the flow, you open yourself up to the abundance that is trying to reach you in every single possible moment. It's wanting to reach you in every single moment. So, we're starting with money, and we're in a spiritual center. So how in the world does all this relate to God? Spirit, the universal presence, whatever we choose to call it. Just like the sky, as an example, God is everywhere. God is everywhere present. Spirit is everywhere. We talk about it all the time, this infinite energy. There's no place where God is not. It's this energy. And we oftentimes go, and I want to feel the love. I want to tap into the love. I want to be the love. Experience all the love. I want to give all the love I can. I want to receive all the love, for that is God. Well, Ernest Holmes tells us that God is spirit. Spirit is substance. Substance is supply. God is spirit. Spirit is substance. Substance is supply. And the way that this works right now in this universe for us as humanoids is we use this thing called money in whatever shape, form, fashion it is. Most of it is now electronic. We don't even touch it much anymore, right? To experience this incredible, awesome substance and supply called God. Ernest Holmes says this is the keynote to realization of a more abundant life, to the demonstration of success in financial matters. It is right that we should be successful, for otherwise the Spirit is not expressed. The divine cannot lack for anything, and we should not lack for anything that makes this life worthwhile while here on earth. See, he's right there with Jen Cicero. He just uses a little different language, doesn't he? So I want to share with your subconscious that money is spiritual. In fact, I'm going to suggest it's one of the most spiritual things there are. Because think about it, it's money is God in action. It's God moving. Just like electricity, just like anything that we call this energetic. Money is spiritual, for it's God in action. And it's okay to desire money. It's okay to want money. It's okay to desire life itself to be expressed to its fullness and its awesomeness and its allness. Is it okay? Yes. Are you telling your subconscious right now, or are you negating things I'm saying already consciously? Money is spiritual. Jen Cicero says, a healthy desire for wealth is not greed, it's a desire for life. Desire literally means desire, of the Father. And whether or not you believe in God, your desires were bestowed upon you when you became your earthly self. Your desires were given to you by the universal intelligence that created everything in existence with the express purpose of being carried out by you during your lifetime. And so as a member of the human species, you're a part of nature. And everything else in nature is provided with all that it needs to carry out its desires to thrive and flourish. So why wouldn't you be? She says all of nature is forever moving, growing, changing, reproducing, evolving. It's all the rage. Even the damn universe itself is expanding. Likewise, you are not meant to just survive, to stay stagnant, to settle. You are meant to keep growing and thrive. Just like the tree that sucks up nutrients, water, and sun, grows to its tallest, mightiest height, and drops stuff all around our yards that will then spawn the next generation of trees, and the frog that miraculously grows from egg to tadpole to adult. You too are meant to reach your fullest expression of life. The you that is you, to inspire and birth awesomeness in others, and to use whatever resources you need along the way. If you are here to become the grandest, most generous version of yourself, which you are, and if that costs money, which it does, it is your duty as a hallowed child of Mother Nature to get rich. Are you uncomfortable yet?
It's our duty.
Just feel into it. One of the biggest obstacles to making lots of money is we actually refuse ourselves permission, refuse to give ourselves permission to be rich. And what Jen Cicero defines as rich, very much like Emma Curtis Hopkins defines prosperity. She says to be able to afford all the things and experiences required to fully experience your most authentic life. That's a good thing. To be able to experience this whole life and to share this whole life with whomever you want to. Many of you already know this, some of you may not. I became a minister 5 years ago. I felt the calling when I was a little girl. I got really serious about it in 1998 when I actually moved from Dallas, Texas to the Bay Area. And I spent a year by myself, launching a company with 3 men. But I spent a year in an apartment that's furnished because I had a house here. And that's when I really deeply started my spiritual journey. But for 23 years prior to becoming a minister, my career, my vocation was sales and marketing. And I went into that because my dad said, you love people. You should go into sales. You'll be good at it. I didn't question it. I just did it. And he was absolutely right. I love people. And I was really good at it. So my trajectory of earning money is like that in sales. The biggest steep incline I had in that career happened when I came into Science of Mind in 2007 and went in this class called Foundations. And I put these principles to work. And during the years of 2008, 2009, and 2010, y'all remember what was going on then? Yeah. It was called this big crash, right? I made more money than I've ever made in my life because I used these universal spiritual principles to do that because I wanted to test it. It was merely a test. I didn't get promoted and I didn't change jobs. And at one point, the compensation plan was such, and I blew it so out of the water, that the company had to negotiate not to give me everything that they owed me. So I say that for a reason, because I know about living a prosperous life, but it's not just about money. Now I want to bring you here. So 5 years ago, when I accepted a letter of call to CSLDallas, the compensation that I was offered was less than what I was making in 1998 when I started that company with the 3 men. And I can tell you that over these past 5 years, I am living more of a prosperous life than I ever had. But see, I have a great relationship with money. I love money. I know it's God in action. So prosperity is way beyond this thing called money. But I'm sharing with you that I don't know how it happens anymore because I know what I'm making here. Okay? I love it. Thank you. I appreciate it very much. It's just a little less than what I did in my prior, but what I can tell you that's changed by putting more and more and more of these spiritual principles to work is I now have what is called the magic pocket. I can't figure it out yet, and I don't want to. And 3 years ago, when Dr. Peter and I got together, and we decided that we were just going to merge everything, including money, I'll know that that could be a tough subject. She has done all the finances since then, which reminds me of how I was in my sales career, because I never looked at my bank account. I always had more than enough. I didn't go, how am I doing for my next paycheck, right? And now I have this thing called the magic pocket. I don't know how it happens, but we do what we want to do. We go where we want to go. You know that we just came back from a big vacation in Europe. We've even prepaid for the next 3 vacations over the next 3 years because one of the ways that we live prosperously is to travel. So we come back here. But I'm just letting you know, every single month, we put everything on one credit card. And every single month, I look at how big that credit card bill is. I mean, it's sometimes like, whoa. And the magic pocket. She just says, pay it. Great. Yesterday she said, pay this from coming back. And she said, and put this in our savings and this in our travel fund. I said, you mean we paid all that off? And you're telling me to move money from checking to savings? She said, yes. It's a magic pocket. It never ends. I don't know how. I don't need to know how. But I have this love relationship with this energy called God in the form of money. And I don't want to deny God coming into my life. And I sure don't want to deny God going through my life and out of my life. And you'll hear more about giving and sacred giving and tithing, which we both do to this community. And it's just, I know that is a significant part of it. But I share this with you to say this is possible. If one person can prove this, I don't know how it happens, but I don't need to know. I'm living the more prosperous life than when I made more money in sales. But we have to let go of these false beliefs, if we have any of them, that says that there's something not so good about money, or we can't have enough of it, or everyone else but me, right? Your hot button might be health. A lot of people's hot button is money. More people get in arguments over it than anything. Because we have this, like, I don't know. And so, welcome it in. Know that this is what it is. If I wished for one thing, I think, for someone to use these principles, it was to really, truly know. When you prove that it's I'm not going to say it's only money, because that loses the sacredness of it. I am in awe with how this energy that we call God as money works now. It's totally changed my life. I've used it for the sake of my health, for the sake of my relationships, anytime I attempt to limit my thinking in any other area of my life, I use money as the anchor, that magic pocket. And it comes from all different places. So I really want us all to become a badass at loving money, of having a deep, intimate relationship with it, to not consider it a bad word anymore, that it's something we don't talk about. Ask questions. Ask me anytime, how'd you do that? Whatever. Get in foundations class. Pretty much any class we teach here, we talk about abundance and what that is. And if you have a prayer request for you want more money to come into your life, call a practitioner, call me. Get the book. This is just one of many, but it's a really good book. Edwene Gaines is coming on the September 23rd. She is the prosperity guru. I ain't got nothing on her. Yes, someone knows her. And the reason why I want us to be all badasses and have a really deep, loving relationship with money is Jen puts it right there. Right here, she says, our world, now more than ever, needs as many compassionate, creative, big-hearted, conscious people to be as rich as possible so we can turn this mother around. Right? Clap for that. Yes, because you're one of them. You're one of them. Let go of any negativity when you see someone with a lot of money acting like not a badass. Let that go, because that is dragging this world down. For you are this big-hearted, right? Creative, conscious, compassionate person, or you wouldn't be here. She says, imagine if you and all the people you love, bring them into your heart, all the people you love, and the ones you respect, and the loved ones you want to be around. I'm going to read it. If all the people you love and respect had ass loads of money, and they felt grateful and empowered by it, and if they could afford to spend it on themselves and others and on saving our planet in ways that uplifted everyone involved, take a moment right now, go within. That's a request. Take a moment to really envision the specifics of this as it pertains to yourself and the spectacular people in your life. Take one right now and imagine how they'd feel, who'd they become. Think of your son. Think of your granddaughter. Think of your neighbor. Think of your best friend. Think of your ministers. Think of your practitioners. Think of anyone in this community or anyone in your life, who they'd become and what they'd spend their newfound wealth on. And think of yourself. You just might be able to find the one thing that eliminates all the plastic in our oceans, or eliminates poverty in Dallas because you buy a plot of land and you put tiny homes all over it, and because they got a home, they can get a job. Whatever. Come back with me now, because remember, there's no such thing as too much awesome. And we're here to live this life, no matter where we're starting from in this moment, right now. No matter what our experience has ever been, there is no precedent to this moment. Get the book. Do the exercises. You'll even write a letter to money. Get intimate. Get close. Get excited of this awesome, incredible energy, because it's God in action. And I want to see a lot of action in your life as God, because as we know, God is freaking awesome, right? So are you ready to be a badass?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Are you ready to be a badass?
Yes.
All right, let us pray. We start by putting a smile on our face. We continue by, if you're able and willing, open your arms as wide as you can. Watch your neighbor, but just open them up. You can lift them up. You can send them out sideways. Just open up. This is God. This is Spirit. This is the universal presence, that which has no circumference. Let the fingers on your hands just wiggle with excitement. Imagine God tingling, just like the stars twinkle, just like the trees and the grass and the plants when it rains go, and just stretch this unlimited, magnificent, unabashed giving thing known as life itself, just a little more. Open up as it. You see, this energy, all it wants to do is give. It doesn't make judgments. It doesn't know big or small. It doesn't say something's good and something's bad. It just wants to give. It wants to experience life. And so this life in the form of prosperity, this life in the form of abundance, gives and gives and gives, and it receives. It's the same thing. And as I know this to be the truth about God and spirit and life itself, I know this to be the truth about me. And I know it to be true about every single person that's got their arms out and wiggling their fingers and got a smile on their face. And so it's in this moment that I declare that if there is anything consciously or subconsciously that is, quote, holding this energy, this awesomeness known as money as negative, as anything other than just as glorious as the sky, we just drop it. We just let it go. We don't buy into this anymore. As the hands are being wiggled and the smile is getting bigger and the arms are going out just a little further, say, I'm ready to receive. I love the awesomeness of God as money. And I want me some of that. Declare right now, I got the magic pocket. As I allow money to come in as me, I allow money to go through me. It's just like my breath. And I want as many of them as I can this life. Okay, good. So claim I'm a badass or badass at making money. I love y'all. God is so good. God is so abundant. Life is so plentiful. And I'm so grateful that the subconscious mind has been reset in this moment. And we're consciously accepting, declaring, and claiming our prosperous life right here and right now. And so I release these words unto the universal law. The law knows how. We not need know, because I sure don't. But I know that these words are made manifest. That anything that needed to be erased is gone. And there's nothing left but receivership, sharing, and the awness of life itself. Money is God in action. And so it is. Yes.